The Center for Court Innovation works to achieve justice and equity and create safe, thriving communities and ultimately to transform justice systems. The center was born at a time of crisis. Violence and crime was up, and there was a sense of fear and lack of safety here in New York. And at the same time, we were incarcerating at a tremendous rate. We were at a crossroads, really. This was all kind of a backdrop for the creation of a new approach through the Midtown Community Court, which was really created to disrupt the status quo.
Having social workers in the courtroom working alongside the judge, having alternatives to incarceration, having services on site. These are all things that were unique to Midtown when it first started and now are present and active in courtrooms all around the city and really all around the nation.
The Center for Court Innovation initially started to think about how we might take lessons from the Midtown Community Court experience and bring those to scale and bring them to new parts of the justice system.
The Center for Court Innovation was incredibly helpful in encouraging innovation in Newark and being able to go out and ask the community and get honest answers. What do you think about the justice system?
Part of just like the heartbeat of the Center for Court Innovation is not to helicopter in and say, hey, we're here and this is how we do business, but to actually shut up and listen.
So many times I speak to community members about what's happening and they say almost the same thing to me. Are you for real? Are you really gonna do this? Are you coming back? Because we've heard this before. We don't just go and tell people how they should do things, we really help them by giving them the resources to do it themselves.
We run groups, and when I say run groups, it's not myself or Mike or Sella running the group, it is actually the young men themselves. Everybody is sort of working towards a common goal of building a healthy relationship.
The people in neighborhoods, like, they get it. It's like for us, by us almost, versus having outside people come in and then telling us what to do and how to do it.
We have an incredibly diverse team of folks who come from all walks of life. They come from the communities we serve. They have incredibly diverse professional backgrounds, personal backgrounds, identities, approaches to this work.
We're able to think about it from a macro lens, but then we're able to dive in on the work and be in the trenches. And I think community not only appreciates that, but after a while they know that we're not going anywhere. And that's a big thing for community. Building trust is everything.
The strength with CCI programming is that it's really hyper-local. They really touch the community in an empathetic, thoughtful, innovative, strategic way. That culture or those values is what's needed to have true transformation in New York City.
How can we shrink the footprint of the system in creating and generating safety? What that may look like is community-based violence prevention programs, community-based restorative justice and healing programs, entrepreneurship and economic opportunity.
Who would have thought 10 to 15 years ago that Center for Court Innovation would be doing a gun reduction program? That's not something that we're known to do. The reentry, the violence reduction work, domestic violence, those types of things, housing, those things could be collateral damage to communities is what we're trying to change.
The Center for Court Innovation is demanding and working towards a criminal justice system that is shrinking so that people's lives can remain whole, so that people can not only have a vision for their community, but a vision for themselves and their families that they can carry out.
I don't think there's any place like the Center for Court Innovation where staff is given the opportunity to be a part of the solution and to contribute to making change in community.
Oreo. Just